Shalom, this is Reb Yoseph Schreiber coming to you from the land of Israel. This week is Parshas Pinchas, and in it the carbonot, the offerings are described. It starts with the daily offering, and it continues with the sacrifices that are given during the Jewish holidays, the special sacrifices for each holiday, and it talks about the daily offering. That's the first one that's mentioned, and it basically says that it's going to be 2 lambs, one offered in the beginning of the day, the other offered in the end of the day, with various condiments. Rashi and the Sifri, basically Rashi draws heavily on the Sifri in his commentary here, and they draw a connection between the immediately preceding topic, which is the appointment of Yahushua, Joshua, to be the successor to Moshe as the leader of Israel. They also point to similarities in lashon and in words. It says concerning the carbonot, command them. Concerning Joshua, it says to command him in front of the nation of Israel. The use of the word command implies that there is a connection between the 2 topics. Now, what you have with Yahushua is the Sifri talks about the changing of the guard, and they bring a mashal that it's like a king whose wife has passed away and he marries another woman, and he tells her that in bringing up his children that he should teach them to be respectful and to be specifically respectful to him, and that they should be honorable. Okay? And he says that basically what this is saying is that the Jewish people should behave in a dignified, refined way, and that they should not turn to a foreign god. Okay, and the connection to the carbonot, the daily offering, is that this is something that we should remind ourselves every day, at the beginning of the day when we start our work, and at the end of the day when we leave our jobs and go home to take a rest. Now, concerning Yehoshua, he is characterized as a person whose the Spirit of God is in him, ruach, so to speak. He is spirited. Now, what Rashi explains is that this means that he had the spirit to go against all of Yisrael. In other words, he was able to say, the community is wrong, and I'm right, and I'm the leader, and this is the way it's going to be. It also talks about him that when God appoints Yoshua, he speaks to him, lectures him, so to speak, and says that this Torah should not depart from your mouth. And what its connection is with the daily offering is that we're supposed to be always learning Torah, and the Jewish people are supposed to be demonstrating the mitzvahs to others, and that this is their job. This is what they should be doing all of the time. To the extent that they have a job or that type of thing, it's really just an ancillary function. Their function is to learn Torah and demonstrate it to others. However, there's going to be times when the whole world is going to be in darkness and the Jews are only going to be the spark of light. They're going to have to be able to be spirited and say, this is the way it's supposed to be. God has given the Torah to the Jews, and God has given brains to the Jews, and we're supposed to use them. And we're supposed to use them to let the world know just what the right thing is to do. That's our job, and that's what we're supposed to be doing every day. Shimon ben Azai, talks about the phrase "Reich nichot Hashem," a pleasing fragrance to Hashem. Ben Azai is one of the Talmudic sages, quoted in the Mishnah, and what he says concerning the sacrifices is that really God does not really need anything. Okay, the whole world is His. If Hashem, so to speak, is hungry, there's thousands of animals in the forest. He can take any of them that He wants. Yet that really what He wants is for us to do His will. He brings a quote from the Chumash that's similar to a quote from the Tehillim that the sacrifice of Hashem is thanksgiving. Basic fundamental issue is that Hashem wants to be a king. You can't be a king unless you have followers. So we're supposed to be the followers. And Hashem is all powerful. What Hashem wants is for us to basically express appreciation for the good things that He has done for us. What he says concerning the carbonate is that that all of the carbonate only use the Shem Havayan, the tetragrammaton, the four-letter ineffable name of God. It doesn't use any other names of God. So there are different words to express God. We could call Him the Holy One, the Merciful One, the Supreme Being. The ineffable name basically is the one that says He's the one who gives existence to everyone. That He's a God of armies is also used. He's the power. But the highest one is the four-letter name of God. And he says that the reason that it is used is because you have some sacrifices that are very large, that they require a bull. It happens that there's also sacrifices that are very small, just a pigeon. And what he is saying is that the reason that you only have the Shem Havaya being used is to show that whether a person accomplishes a lot or a little means the same to Hashem. What really means is that his actions are for the sake of heaven, and that he has sincerely tried to do God's will, and that what Hashem wants, what it, so to speak, is our daily work, what is, so to speak, the bread of Hashem, what is, so to speak, the wine of Hashem, is the hard work, or shall we say the irregular work, the proper work, the pleasant work that people have done as a religious endeavor. The daily sacrifice, as I mentioned, is 2 lambs. Now, a lamb is not a big animal. It's a respectable animal. It's in terms of if you're of a meal, if you're thinking of having a meal, you're talking about basically lamb chops. It's nicer than chicken. It's not as nice as steak. In other words, it's a pleasant meal, but not an expansive meal. The idea behind it is that we're supposed to do an honest day's work for God. That we have to really exert ourselves, so to speak. The bowl is not necessary as our daily work. When you have the holidays coming up and you have to put in a special effort, then you have to really work hard, and then it's appropriate that you should, so to speak, have a side of beef being brought as a meal for many people. A big party for a Pesach, a big Seder, or a Sukkah where you have a nice party, many bowls, many steak dinners. That's when you work hard, is for the Jewish holidays. It's not a pigeon or a handful of flour, which would be something that a poor person would do, someone who does not have much in the way of resources. What it comes out is it's something that is respectable and pleasant. The idea is that Hashem isn't a tyrant. It talks in the Gemara about the laws of dwelling in a sukkah, a hut. And it talks about it, the hypothetical situation of dwelling in a sukkah in Tammuz. Tammuz would be is the hottest month of the year. And it says that really if it becomes very hot in a sukkah, that there's no obligation to stay there. A person doesn't have to suffer to do this mitzvah. In that by and large a person shouldn't be suffering to demonstrate God's precepts to the world. Sometimes there is a case where you really do have to suffer, but the idea is that you don't do that on a daily basis. That Hashem isn't a tyrant, and it's not every day has to be hard work. Sometimes there is, but by and large what it means is that you have to put in a fair day of work, but the work should be pleasant. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.